Awesome.
It's at noon, right?
Don't they eat into it sometimes?
To order for Amarillo College Board of Regents. Today's February 25th, 2025. It is not 5:45. It is actually 5:50. We're a little bit late, but we'll try to catch up. We'll start off with the prayer. And Bob?
Good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to introduce Molly Riesenberg. And Molly's going to come up here and lead a prayer here in just a moment, but I'd like to just tell you a little bit about her. We had the pleasure of sitting at the same table with her at dinner, and Dr. Connor did as well. And let me tell you, this gal, we've had a lot of great students come and pray with us, but this gal has got it. Molly is a mass media major. She's a 2024 graduate of Randall High School, and she started in the fall. She's here this spring. And you can hear her on FM 90 on Saturday mornings. She's on air from 9 o'clock till noon. And it sounds like she's loving what she's doing. She told us all about the kinds of things that are going on in her life. And one of the things that's going on is she's a big Buc-ee's fan. And I'm a big Buc-ee's fan. So like we bonded over that. Joe Bill. I'm not sure he's ever been to Buc-ee's. That came up in conversation as well, but that's for a different time. Anyway, this student's knocking it out of the park, guys, and is really representing Amarillo College. And she's also very serious and passionate about her relationship with God. And when she was invited to come pray with us, she said, absolutely. And so I'll get out of the way and let Molly pray.
Hello, I'm Molly. As you can see, my shirt says prayer works. So be prepared to have some miracles happen tonight where things seem stuck. So I'll pray for if you'll bow your heads. Lord Jesus, I just thank you for tonight, and I thank you for this opportunity to gather together and to talk about Amarillo College, God, a place where you're at, a place that you love. Lord, we just thank you for these people who care so deeply about this school. God, that this school is changing lives. Lord, so I just pray for these board members that you would fill this room and fill their hearts and minds tonight, God. And I pray for miracles. Pray for miracles in the budgets. I pray for miracles where things seem stuck, God. I pray for, like I said, open hearts and open minds about things that may be happening on campus. Lord, I just thank you for these people, God, and I just pray that they know that every battle they may come across, Lord, that you've already won. God, that you go before us and you go behind us. We love you and thank you for all you have done and all you will do. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Bob, book her again. That was wonderful, wonderful prayer, Molly. Thank you.
Amber knows where to find me, so
Okay.
just let me know.
all right, okay.
And Molly, let us know you have your show on Saturdays. And what do you go by?
I go by Mo on the mic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. So I'm on the mic right now, and I always sign off by saying Mo out.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
Awesome.
You guys have a blessed night.
Thank you so much. That was fantastic. Now we're going to have our SGA report. Is Kevin here tonight?
Mia's gonna cover tonight.
Who is?
Mia?
Oh,
Maya.
Maya.
Hi. So I'll be giving the report for student life tonight. I'm Maya, by the way. I'm the Vice President of Student Government Association. So I just want to start by talking about our Love at First Slice relationship trivia that we had at the beginning of the month. SGA hosted guest speaker Marissa Cohen in a healthy relationship trivia where students got to join us for some pizza while playing a healthy relationship trivia game. Marissa did a great job keeping the students entertained and engaged while still advocating for healthy relationships. And we had about 70 students attend, so it was a huge success for us. Next, we had our birthday party event, and this is where we handed out over 90 cupcakes to our students just to celebrate them, their past, present, or future birthdays, making sure everyone feels celebrated. Next, SGA has been teaming up with Career Services to support their career fairs by providing food for their attendees. The career fairs have been a great success for everybody and helped a lot of students talk to potential future employers. Our most recent ones have been at our East Campus for their industrial career fair, and one here just last week at the Washington campus for their engineering fair. This has been really exciting for SGA to team up with because we got to spend some time out at our East Campus, which we don't get to go to as often as we would like to. So we really enjoyed that. Moving on, yesterday PTK had a Texas Tech campus visit, which I actually had the opportunity to go on as well. We took a campus tour and got information about living on campus, scholarships, and financial aid. And I personally really enjoyed it because my sister goes there and I've been there so many times.
Recording in progress.
But I got to see all of the important places that I needed information about. So that kind of really settled that I think that might be the next school I'll be at. So that's very exciting. Lastly, SGA is going on our region conference in El Paso this weekend to meet up with our fellow regional colleges, which are El Paso, South Plains, Midland, and Odessa. And we're going to come together, connect, share ideas, and represent AC on a larger platform. And we're going to meet with our committees and get ready for our state convention, which is later in April in Galveston. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Maya.
Thank
Anybody
you.
have any questions or anything? Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Appreciate you very much. Now, before we get into the Regents reports, I want to reference these cupcakes. They are not left over from the birthday party that we're talking about here in the SGA. These are fresh, and they are in honor of some Regents who have recently had birthdays. There is Annette. We're just going to say the day, not the year. January 15th. David, January 27th. Paul, February the 11th. Jeff, February the 16th. And then today, Irene turns another year older. So, happy birthday to you all. And cheers and eat up. Let's go. All right. So that was good. Next month, whose birthday is it? We're going to get something else. All right. So thank you very much. Regents reports. Before I get into the executive committee report, I want to say today I was involved with something here on campus that was fantastic. Research Center. Denise was there and several others. I'll tell you what, they're doing some great work over there. We did Amarillo College proud today. There's some guests from Oak Ridge, Tennessee, coming from the Oak Ridge schools, Oak Ridge High School. Amtech and AC took a group there in October of last year. And this is the return part of the convening. And we're learning things from each other. We're learning how to build workforce. And the idea is for these two school systems, they've got a lot of university partners, and Roane State Community College is right in their backyard as well, to start working on building the workforce for nuclear energy of the future, and it's going to happen. And it's kind of fun to be a part of it here in Amarillo and at Oak Ridge. So look for great things to happen. Tomorrow, that was the first leg of it. Tomorrow morning, we're at the Innovation Outpost. And then tomorrow afternoon, we're at Amtech. And then the next morning, we'll be getting a tour of the First Responders Academy and having our closing meeting about next steps. Where do we go from here? So be looking for that. I think they will be on the news tomorrow, or yeah, tomorrow night. So Regents reports, committee reports, what we talked about in the executive committee is, I won't go into all the details, but I think one of the most important things we did talk about was the Thrive Scholarship Program. As we all know, we want this to continue, and we're working on that. We have great folks in the college who are working on that and getting it to where we need it to be so that we can continue to thrive in Amarillo. We looked at some updates on how the federal changes might impact Amarillo College and Panhandle PBS. Update on partnership with Texas Tech and our STEM DOE grant for the STEM building. Some updates on the election and miscellaneous things like that. So I want to let you know the last thing that we didn't get to was the goals for Amarillo College, strategic planning and board retreat. We've got to have a board retreat coming up sometime soon to get really some high level discussions going about where we go next. What's next for Amarillo College? You have a lot to do with that as well. So we're giving you time to meet everybody and figure out where, you've outlined some things with me, big buckets of things. And so we're going to really fill those in and get down to what we want as a college, as Regents, and get our goals out there. So look forward to that in the coming months. Next up is the AC Foundation report.
Yes, I will give that report for Johnny and me. We had our meeting on February 13th, and we had a group of athletes there, our athletes, maybe about 10 of them. And they all introduced themselves, all very well poised. And then Nathan, our communications guy for athletics, it's Nathan, right? Yeah. He gave the backstory on every one of them, just told everything about each one of them, made it very personal. It was really great. They're very impressive. And as you know, you got the email. We have 37 maybe athletes on the dean's list, huge big deal. So they're doing great. Panhandle Gives, there's an amplification fund, which we get in addition to whatever our contributions were. And that came in at about $28,000 to $30,000 for the amplification fund. So that's, just on top of whatever we raised. The foundation had the event up here on February 4th, Love Our Donors. About 90 people came, and it was, the theme was honoring consecutive year donors. And there were people that have donated over 40 consecutive years. So several regents were there. You were there, of course. Dr. Connor was there, and you introduced her for the 100th time. And
a lot.
Yeah,
I'm done.
I'm old news now.
The grant committee gave a report saying that they had awarded 3 grants to biology, music, and sonography. These are they're not big grants. They're like $2,800, $3,000, just small things that different departments need for different distinct purposes. And we have a committee that does that. And then lastly, but certainly not least, an update on our Badger Bold campaign. We are about $2.5 million from our goal, at least we were then. And it's August, I think, is when at the end. Yeah. Is that right? August? Yeah. So we've got work to do, and we're going to get it done.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's a wonderful report, Michelle.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
notes.
That's awesome.
I hardly ever remember to take notes. I took notes.
Thank you. That was awesome. You want to stay up there for Amoa?
Well, I took notes there too. And
Oh.
so I'm not sure. Well, we had the gala, and I think I talked about that at the last meeting. I'm not sure I've mentioned this before, but we had a donor who gifted us $500,000 if we could match it with $500,000. And we got that gift last spring. And our fundraising to match it sort of stalled out because that's when the fires happened in the Panhandle, and we thought it was inappropriate to be asking donors for money. But in the meantime, we have gotten revved back up, and we have raised 355,000, and we have 145,000 to go to get the match. And he has alluded to, if we match it, he will give us another $1 million. So
What?
I know. I mean, his name is Ray Graham, and his art collection was honored a year ago in January. He was the collector who we honored, and he just loves the museum and loves Amarillo. So it's a big deal, and we're working there. Our team is working really hard to get the last 145,000 to raise. So you might get a letter on it. There are sending some letters out. The 20 by 20 exhibit is coming up April 3rd. If you've been to it, it's fabulous. It's in person, but you bid online. David got beat out on several things last year.
Me too.
I got beat out last year. It is so exciting, and
Until you get beat out.
until you get beat out, but the art is great, and it's a great fundraiser for the museum. So the way it works is the museum splits whatever the bid price is 50-50 with the artist, but a lot of the artists donate all of it to the museum. So it's a great fundraiser and just a great fun event. And I think that's all I got. Thanks.
Thank you for amazing. I was telling the people of Oak Ridge today, look, right across from the Sim Center, we got them all.
Yeah.
It's amazing, right across the street. So cool to have both of those. It's also cool to have the Panhandle PBS. We got a good report coming up from Peggy. See me after in the principal's office. We'll talk about the tour.
You all know Cadillac Ranch, right? It's
Yes.
a global icon. The Amarillo is public art, much bigger than. Panhandle PBS has teamed up with local videographer Cole Freightville, Roosevelt Road Video, if I can say that again, to bring you in open air an exploration of public art in a three-part series that dives into the past, present, and future of creative expression in the city. Journey kicked off with episode 1, Regents, premiered last Thursday at 7 p.m. Yes, there's more to come if you missed that. Episode 2, the mural movement, airs this Thursday at 7 p.m. bringing vibrant murals that color our streets. And in the final episode, Public Secrets, they'll uncover hidden gems of public art and events. Amarillo College's Chalk It Up. It's on Thursday, March 6th at 7 p.m. The production was funded by grants from the Amarillo Area Foundation and Dr. Roberts Valiant Foundation. My apologies. Don't miss this exciting look at the art that shapes our community.
I've heard that before. That last part, that's pretty good. Good job. Thank you very much, Peggy. Next, there are tiers 1, 2, and 3. Starting with 1, any reports, David?
Well, the good news is we finally had a meeting.
All right. Did you take notes?
And I just lost my notes. So on the 13th, and it was a short meeting, we discussed streetscape for the Panhandle Adult Recovery PARC. It's
Park.
yeah. There's some streetscaping that they've applied for, and then we discussed our investment policy and our quarterly financials, and some discussion on the Wayfaring Banner project. It's proposed that we use some like canvas printed stuff that'll last maybe 5 to 10 years, depending on where they are. If they've got direct sunlight, it might not be quite as long, but they just decided it was a much cheaper thing to do than the other type of banners that have gone up. I mean, we're talking about saving many thousands of dollars by doing that. And let's see. That's pretty much it.
Okay, thank you very much, David. I appreciate your attendance at those meetings. John, cheers too.
We did not have a.
All, tiers 3.
We didn't meet, but we will next one.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Standing Policies and Procedures Committee, and Annette? No report at this time. Finance Committee.
We met and I've got my notes here from the January meeting. So I'm gonna go, I found our agenda, so I'm gonna say the things I have. Michelle keeps copious notes, so I'm sure she'll correct anything I don't. The things that we talked about that I think are significant for us from a financial perspective were the Thrive Scholarship and us continuing on how we can actually make that even more attractive for more communities. So that's one thing that Dr. Sobey presented. Another was a way to increase enrollment with the AC Texas Tech 2+1 program. We talked a lot about dual credit and its impact on our new funding model. And the last thing I would say is the budget forecast coming out of the 89th legislature. We think is still about $4 million up is what I think I remember. Chris, is that right? Is that correct? So again, still very beneficial for us as far as the results-based funding, outcome-based funding. And so we're excited about that. And then we're going to continue in developing the programs and the way that we can continue to expand in the items that are going to give us the most successful. Anything else to add, folks, that I am overlooking or forgetting?
That was very well done without notes. It was awesome.
Thank you.
Great job, Donnie. Appreciate that very much. Next up is legislative affairs. John, do you want to, are we doing that? Or are we gonna?
Yes.
You're gonna do that. Okay. I didn't know how we're gonna blend it with the community college day, but go ahead.
So on February 3rd, we traveled to Austin, the legislative committee, myself, Annette, Irene, David, and also Dr. Connor, along with some staff members. Is
All of y'all want to do that
that better?
to match.
It's still red.
Make
There you
it,
go.
make it
Okay,
green.
you got it.
So on the 3rd, we traveled to Austin for Community College Day, legislative committee members, myself, Annette, Irene, David, Dr. Connor, and several staff members, along with students, alongside with 800 students, regents, and college presidents throughout the state. We met on the lawn for a morning rally, and together we were there to advocate for the future of community colleges. And so that event was coordinated with good efforts from Texas Association of Community Colleges and Community College Association of Texas Trustees. They organized the event, and the plan was to meet with legislatures and or their staff to discuss key issues affecting community colleges, including funding, policy concerns, and student success initiatives. Unfortunately, we were not able to meet with our state representatives, but thankfully we were able to meet with Senator Judith Zaffirini, who took time out of her busy schedule to visit with us. She even posed with us for a picture. I was very proud of the students that did go with us because they were there sharing concerns regarding several bills, HB 160, SB 147, and SB 2, which are issues that directly impact affordability, access, and civic engagement for Texas students. It was an honor to represent Amarillo College and to stand alongside so many passionate advocates for community college. And I do see that, is Mia still in the room?
Yes, she was there. Going to give a report out.
Okay.
Yeah, just to show the student side.
Okay, awesome.
And so then,
Amber. Amber was there too.
mhm.
Yeah.
And then, so tomorrow, myself and Annette and Dr. Connor are traveling back to Austin for the Board of Texas Trustees Institute.
Good. Sounds great. Thank you very much, John.
Mhm.
And that's probably the same for Cat, or do you have a separate report for that?
That is it.
Okay, all right, very good. Final Regent report, nominating committee, Dr. Woodman? Anything? Okay, all right, very good. Item number 4, thank you all, by the way. Item number 4, Community College Day in the Capitol. Turn it over to Dr. Connor.
And we're gonna have Maya come up, and Kevin was going to be here. He has a test and studying, and that's obviously his priority right now. That's what he's here for.
Okay.
And so Maya, if you wanted to come up and first share the perspective of the student in Austin.
Hi. So a lot of what I was going to be talking about, John already touched on. So for a personal note, it was a really meaningful experience to me personally, because as a first gen student, I never in a million years would have thought that I would care this much about voting and the behind the scenes of it all. And it was really an honor to get to know some of the regents, Dr. Connor, and some of our advisors to come with us. And I know for a few of our students that were with us that are DACA students, talking about this with our representatives or their chief of staff, the ones that couldn't be there, was really meaningful to them. And for us to advocate for students and other students around Texas meant a lot to us. And it was just a lot of fun, and getting to see the behind the scenes of how they make laws was really incredible. We got to go onto the floor of the House of Representatives, which I didn't know no one's allowed to go on there. So we got special access to that. So that was really special and incredible opportunity for us. And so I'm very honored to be able to go on behalf of Amarillo College. So I just want to thank you guys for coming with us, the regents that came, and thank Amarillo College for taking us there. It was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Thank you,
Good
Maya.
job.
And so just to not repeat what folks have said, but just chiming in a couple of things. The faculty that went, Chris Hudson and Teresa Galsbrook Bowling, if I pronounced it right. They were both fantastic. Chris used to work at the Capitol. So he really helped get us in with some of the legislators and was fantastic getting us everywhere we needed to be. It was my second week in the role. So, and my first trip to the Austin Capitol. So they were fantastic. Also, Amber Hamilton and Jenna Bedell are the student life folks that attended and really supported the students, and they did a fantastic job as well. So really thankful for all of them there. As it relates to the legislative priorities right now for all the community colleges, everything surrounding House Bill 8, which is really beneficial to us. The last that I saw, and I don't think it's new information that most of you have probably heard, when we talk about the formula funding for the coming year, 26-27, currently we have about 47 million in the budget for that. And then for the supplemental appropriations request for the current biennium, I think it's gone up to 89.5 million was the last that I saw. And then the third priority that we talked to the legislators about was including when our students transfer to private institutions, that they would count as part of that. So really great conversation. I really was so impressed by the students. They did an amazing job. Speaking to legislators and staff, they had done their homework. They were very knowledgeable about their topics and bringing forward professionally and respectfully their concerns to legislators and staff. And so I couldn't have been more proud of the students that went with us on that trip. And when you think about all that everyone's talked about that we did, it was even on an abbreviated timeline, because the morning started and suddenly they were saying that our flight was going to be delayed to the point where if we didn't leave earlier, the students might not get back. And so we just crammed everything into it though, and got back to the airport. And so it was really a great day. And for my first trip to Austin and the Capitol, it was fantastic. Thank you.
Good. It's always fun to go to the Capitol, especially for the first time. I wore very brand new shoes the first time I went there. It was the wrong thing to do. I was going to impress people. Oh no, certainly not my wife when I come limping home. Thank y'all so much for that. Great report, and especially from Maya and the students' perspective. You're the reason why we do it. So thank you for going and being that voice, that student voice. So important. Thank you.
Well, I
Yeah,
just want to
John.
give kudos to Dr. Connor because when we did receive news of that setback, I mean, she was very strategic and implemental in making sure that everybody's flight got changed. And she did not change her flight schedule until everybody was confirmed on their flights. So just thank you for doing that for us.
Good job. Good job. All right. So number 5, no excuses 2025. Is there an item for that?
There's no excuses.
There's no excuse for that. Well, good. We were gonna finish then, I guess. That's it for our status update. See me back here promptly at 6:30 when we will begin our board meeting. No. No, get some coffee. Eat your cupcake. No, don't go home.
Professional grade
Yeah.
jewelry.
Yeah, I kind of want to come down and learn how you do it.
How'd you hear that?
Please,
Either
I need a good laugh.
somewhere.
Anyway, so.
Somewhere, you told.
I'm not-
somewhere.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I think it was at the donors reception.
Anyway, yeah, we got it. Okay.
Mhm.
It was not easy. I actually had to get a travel agent to do it for me because the place is so.
I'm glad I didn't like spin your.
No,
All right, here we go.
Gary and Kathy Sheldon.
Call meeting to order. The Amarillo College Board of Regents regular meeting today, February 25th, 2025. It is precisely 6:30 PM. Calling this meeting to order. Welcome, everyone. We've had a good status update. It's been a really lovely day in the Panhandle today. If you didn't get out, I'm sorry about that because it was very nice today. We want to begin tonight with our Pledge of Allegiance. If you'll please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And are there any public comments? No blue cards? So no public comments at this time. So we'll move on to item number 5, the minutes of the regular meeting of January 28th.
Move for approval.
Net move for
Second.
approval. Second was David? David, thank you. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed by no? Thank you. Motion passes. I did look up too, by the way, no is correct. I was corrected by someone and I verified it, Michelle. Robert's Rules of Orders. So I'm learning. I like that though. Makes a lot more sense to me. Actually. Just say no, but don't say no. Don't say no.
No, say no.
Okay. All right. Consent agenda, item number 6.
Move for approval.
John?
Second.
Okay, Michelle, second. Any discussion?
I have a question.
Okay, sure.
On the last item, this is on the budget amendments. There's a contingency transfer of funds to cover the expense of the new VOC software and maintenance for the AC Police Department, 261,000. Just tell me what that is.
It is replacing software that we have now that is outdated. And so the VOC software will be where we can put messages, text messages or email messages to students or faculty and staff, emergencies, bad weather, that kind of thing. It also will run part of the police software in their cars when they, if they're in pursuit or if they're issuing a ticket, that kind of thing. We paid, I think we're having to pay $50,000 more for this VOG than what we paid for the current software that we're having. This software is much more user friendly. It does a lot more than the current software that we have.
And was it budgeted? It was budgeted. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Question. Any other discussion or questions? Okay, all in favor of the motion to approve the consent agenda, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed by no? Motion carries. Number 7, reallocation budget for Perkins Basic Grant. Dr. Frank Sobey will be presenting us with this information.
So AC received approximately $218,000 for our 2024-25 Perkins Basic Grant. This is administered by the coordinating board. And these federal pass-through funding will support critical equipment and supplies for our career and technical education programs. There's a budget attached pages 5 and 6 for your review. And we are presenting this for your approval to expedite purchases. So after discussion, the board may wish to approve the reallocation budget.
Move for approval.
Thank you, Paul.
Second.
Second, Johnny. Any discussion? All right, all in favor of approving this motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed by no? Motion carries. Number 8, Chris, you're on Tech Share Master Interlocal Purchasing Agreement.
This is one of the co-ops that we use. This is a new co-op that is formed under North Texas Council of Governments, like our PRPC here. A co-op, as you might know, they go out on bid on certain items that that colleges or cities or counties will buy, so that we don't have to go out and bid on them, and it saves us a lot of money. And products or whatever we're buying is the lowest price bid. Things like janitorial supplies, cars, you can get cars, office supplies, that kind of stuff. So we just wanted to join this and have another option for a co-op to do purchases under. We have to, it's free to join, but we have to do an interlocal agreement.
So haven't we had an agreement with some other organization for the same kind of thing?
Yes, we have probably 8 to 10 different co-ops that we utilize.
Just kind of shop around and find the
Yeah,
best way to
whatever's
do
the
it?
best price, best and lowest price.
I move approval.
All right, David, thank you. Any second? All right, Irene, second. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed by saying no? That motion carries. We're now a member of that Tech Share Master Interlocal. All right, going on to number 9, the Joint Election Services Contract. I hope everybody's had a chance to look at that. Chris, bring us up to date.
Yeah, this is some housekeeping. As you know, we have an election coming up May 3rd. And so Potter County runs our election. And in doing so, it's a whole lot cheaper have them running it than us doing an election ourselves. Potter County provides like the equipment, the judges, the poll workers. On page 1, I think in your booklet, you can see all the entities that Potter County serves in this election. City of Amarillo, Amarillo College, the school district, Bushland School District, River Road School District, and Panhandle Groundwater District. The cost of running the election from Potter County is on page
20. 11 has 2 different.
page 11. So they base it on how many precincts we have to have. Amarillo College has 22 precincts. So the bill for Potter County running our election is $30,799.46. We just need approval from you guys to enter into that contract.
Move for approval.
Second.
Thank you, Annette and John. Thank you for that. Any discussion, further discussion? All right, all in favor of the Joint Election Services Contract outlined by Chris, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed by no? All right, that motion carries. And then number 10, the same for Randall County.
Yeah, exact same thing for Randall County. We need a service contract for them to run our elections. Potter County charges a little over $29,000 to run the election there. In your packet, you can see the different polling places for Randall County. Other than that, it's basically the same as Potter County.
But no additional costs because Potter County carries the costs.
Yeah.
I was looking for it and I think it's free on that side of things.
For
Randall. Randall doesn't charge?
No, Randall charges us a little over $29,000.
Oh, they do. I thought you said Potter. Oh, you said, okay. So Basically, election costs about $59,000.
Yeah, it's a little closer to 70 by the time we do advertising and all the
Lord.
postings and stuff we have to do. So
Okay.
gets a little costly. So
Is that total dollar amount in their agreement with us? I don't see it anywhere. in here.
I didn't see it
No.
in Randall counties.
I didn't either.
It's described
know
how
if
it's calculated.
We left that out or what.
I thought Potter did all the work and they,
Johnny.
and Randall.
We're worth that much.
No, I don't think so.
And Randall
Less than that.
work, I mean, they work together. My understanding, I'm vaguely remembering this from school board is Potter took on all the cost and expense. And we all pay them. You're
what I
shaking your
thought
head at
too.
me.
Yeah, it's not how it works now.
Okay,
So
Well, I wish it were.
I know. It does seem like it's about twice as expensive as it used to be. I mean, like back
Yeah.
in the day that I remember, yeah.
Wow.
Everything's twice as much.
So we've got this on the table. I'll entertain a motion.
Move for approval.
Don and Peggy, second. All right, any discussion? Further discussion?
Further.
All right, all in favor of this motion for item number 10, please signify by saying aye. Opposed by no. All right, that motion carries. We will have an election in Potter and Randall counties. All right, request for use of funds for KAC-TV Panhandle PBS at Amarillo College, Mr. Ball.
Yes,
Already
thank you.
there. Good job.
Request for the use of funds from an existing KACV TV account is for the following equipment needs. Replacement of replace an archive system. This goes along with what you had approved, and we actually put in new equipment last year. This is the next step of that we couldn't do until we finished what we were doing last year. The price is $53,190 from Computer Upgrade Corporation. And number two, replace studio transmitter link that communicates from the studio here out to the antenna to the transmitting site, and then it works back and forth with our automation system. PBS uses this to deliver the TV signal from the studios to the transmitter location. The price is $108,051 from VisiLink. Those are both proprietary sources, and we have all the paperwork on that. For the funds for this project are available from the existing KACV TV Digital Transformation Fund, the Harrington Endowment that we have here, that we manage really for all the technology issues.
That's good. Good to know.
So after discussion, the board may wish to approve the total funds of $161,241 for KACV TV Panhandle PBS.
Move to approve.
Second. Peggy, and second? Who's that? Me. Oh, John, okay. All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion of item number 11?
I have a question.
Sure.
Can you explain to me exactly what the transmitter link involves?
I'm glad you asked that because I talked to the engineer today because I'm the wrong person to be an engineer. So studio transmitter link equipment sends video signals to the tower site and then the information back here to tell us that it actually happened. And it works with the new automation systems that we replaced last year. Remember, we spent out of that account about $500,000 to bring it up to modern needs. Well, now this is all the communication from here to the tower that's north of town and to this, there's a big building out there with equipment out there. It has to talk to that, and we're replacing that now.
Is this something that we need to replace frequently, or?
Now, probably 10 years.
And is it hardware that we're replacing?
It's all software now. There's some equipment with it, but it's really software and it works with all everything's automated here at the station over here now that we put it in last year. And that automation now has this, we still do some of that with a human being. Now we have to automate it and send it out to those towers. And then it has to report back that it was done correctly. And it's going 24 hours a day. I mean, it's running right now, 365 days a year, and that'll automate all of that. It was a natural next step from what we put in place last year.
And again, where's the funding coming from?
From the KACV Digital Transformation Fund, the Harrington Endowment.
That's good. All right, so we have a motion and a second. Any other questions or discussion? All right, all in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed by no? That motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate it. Thank you for that very technical explanation. Tiffany, we're ready for you. And item number 12, the financial reports.
All right, if you will look in your packet and turn to page 30, we have the financials through January of 2025. The first page on page 30 is the internal unaudited statement of net position, which is the asset part of your balance sheet. The first column is January 2024. The last column is January 2025. So I just want to bring your attention down to the total assets line. It's towards the bottom. At the end of January 2024, we had total assets of $267,406,430 compared to the end of January 2025 of $265,004,982. So we're pretty consistent with where we were at this time last year. If you will go to page 31, this is the liability section of your financials. So towards or at the bottom, total liabilities, same column, first column versus the last column. So total liabilities at the end of January last year, $228,270,628 compared to the end of January this year, $224,679,645. This is mostly due to an $8 million bond payment that was made. I think we pay them in February. So in February of 2024, we made an $8 million bond payment, which attributes to some of that change. Also, towards the top under total current liabilities, you'll notice under retainage payable that we had a balance at the end of January 2024 of around 1.8 million of retainage payable. At the end of January 2025, we're sitting at 3.3 million. So those are to be paid out once the construction projects are done. We relieve that retainage payable. So we should see that number start going down soon. You will go to page 33. This is the revenue part of your income statement. So the first column is the balances at the end of January 2024. So total revenue, $62,356,753 at the end of 2024. On the far right side, at the end of 2025, January 2025, $68,800,033. So that was an increase of approximately $6 million. This is attributed to that gifts line that we talked about last month. It's about halfway through the page under non-operating revenues. That has gone up about 5.6 million. And those are funds that are moved over from the AC Foundation from donors for construction projects that are going on around campus. So if you'll go to page 34, this is the expense section of the income statement. So at the bottom where it says total expense at the end of January 2024, $58,300,151 compared to the end of January 2025, $62,914,149. And that's an increase of about $4 million. And it looks like it's probably a timing change, but it's under scholarships and financial aid. We've paid out about $4 million more this year than last year. Does anyone have any questions?
Is there a reason for that?
It's really about when the state requires that we do payouts on students and their registration and all that stuff. And so sometimes it ends up being earlier in the year than later in the year. So just when the funding comes in and when we have to pay it out.
Right.
Move for approval.
Thank you, Ned. Second?
Aye.
Okay, Paul, second. Any other discussion? All right, all in favor of approval of our financials, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And if you do not approve of that, signify by saying no. All right, it passes. I will entertain a motion for item number 13.
I move we adjourn.
All right, second.
I'll say.
Look what time it is.
Fastest meeting.
Wow.
Ever been to?
Hey. Joe. Right, everybody. We did it.
Well, that's fast.
Wow.
Good, I got here
Your
on time.
record, Jeanette.